And here's a look at the top 4 that are in right now. Terry McCarl has moved up to 4th, so he is just in front of Travis Ryland and would hold that final transfer spot, still trying to be the first Iowan to win this famed race. McCarl goes to the bottom side while Brown and Stewart and Shepard in the white 4J run up along the fence. Now McCarl goes high and Shepard in the 4J goes to the bottom.
Well, Brian Brown on that start, now he gets passed by Shane Stewart.
Shane Stewart goes across to the high side, and Brown with a great slide job up in front retakes the position.
So I was just getting ready to say on the start, that's what he did. He went on the bottom, slid up across the cushion like he was putting a slide job on a car. Maybe that was a blocking maneuver. Shane Stewart gets by him, and now Shane back on the, oh boy, I thought he was taking the front end off of Brownie there.
And they cross again as they enter turn 1, and again the slide jobs continue.
Did you see Brown right there hit the cushion? You can see the car lay on the right rear. The left front wheel actually came off the ground. Now he goes back to the bottom. That'll get a driver excited.
That'll give you an idea of just how fast they're sliding into the first corner here in Knoxville. Now Brown starts to pull away a little bit from Stewart. He told me earlier today that the key to his success this season is the consistency of running here weekly, as Danny Lisowski, who ran here for years, won 7 track championships, closes in on the backside of the 55 of Ricky Logan. So Lisowski up to 12, now begging for another caution.
To close the field back up, that's what he needs. Oh, that it is right there.
He got it. That's Wimmer's car, the 7TW of Brandon Wimmer, who was 6th, Brad. He was only 2 spots out of a transfer, now finds himself up along the wall.
Yeah, tough luck there as the car rolls to the stop. It all looks like all the tires are up. Can't tell really what happened to the race car while he pulled up over there, but if he can get the car fixed, he's gonna have to go to the tail, and boy, this late in the race, I don't know, it'd be hard. You can see some fluid running out of the left front corner there. And where that fluid was coming from there looks like, but there wasn't any smoke out of it, the oil tanks on that side, but it also could be, you know, a radiator problem.
All right, so Brian Brown continues to lead over Shane Stewart, Jeff Shepard, and Terry McCarl. There's about 13 laps left.
And Lisowski's sitting 13th, so he said it to go. In his interview, he's got to pass a car a lap.
Travis Ryland is still out of it, Dave.
With Craig Delansky, Ralph. Craig, you're, like I said a moment ago, the good news is you're not in this race. Tell me about your week. Can you win this race?
Well, I'll tell you what, we started off with some luck going against us here on Wednesday night. We had some motor troubles, but you know, we tried to rebound from that, and last night we got caught up in a first lap tangle there on the start of the 8th scramble. So, you know, we were sitting 2nd there last night and ended up 5th here tonight. So, you know what, hopefully we got a good race car here in the A main and make the right tire choice, and we'll see what we can do.
What do you need to do when you start 5th like that? Do you need to be patient at first, Craig, or do you have to really go for it at the start?
Well, I mean, you know, you got to balance that out a little bit. It just depends on your race car and how good it is at the beginning. We've been kind of struggling at the beginning of the race and got better towards the end. So, you know, we're just going to have to hope that we make the right adjustments here and the car feels good, and we'll just see how far, you know, how quick we can get going. We'll definitely try to get a good start and see where we go from there.
When he starts 5th, we'll watch for that 7 of Craig Delansky.
Well, the 46th annual Super Clean Knoxville Nationals presented by the Midwest Ford dealers coming up shortly. We're in the B main event. You're watching it live on Speed as we search for the final 4 entries into tonight's main event. Brian Brown in the black 21. He's won here on a weekly basis so far this year, looking to win the B.
Did you see what Terry McCarl did? He laid back, tried to guess the run. Might not have helped him any as a car right behind him there. I believe it's Ryland's trying to get at the inside of it.
It is Travis Ryland is trying to close in. That's Brian Brown in the black car on the bottom. There goes Stewart. McCarl gets around Shepard. So Shepard slips back to the final transfer. Those two will come side by side off the tube.
Well, I said earlier, Brian Brown last week, the 360 Nationals, won the C, started last in the B, ran 2nd, started last in the A and ran 2nd. He knows this racetrack. He's confident, comfortable.
Oh, we got another yellow. The 2 car is round. That's Skip Jackson. And if you're wondering, Danny Lisowski says when we went back to green, has moved up to 10th. He gets another caution.
And on our scoreboard, only one lap is going by, so he's gained a couple spots in only that one lap.
There's the 83, back to idle. Tony.
Well, Brandon, tell us what happened out there.
I had a rear end go on us. This is just too bad. Alan Barton gave me a great ride for the Nationals this year. We were right there in the hunt for the final transfer spot, but it's just bad luck. It happens all the time, but we'll be back. There's no doubt about that. We'll be back and try again.
Well, Brandon, when we saw him pull up there, we talked about the fluids out of the front. We obviously hear him say broke the rear end. As the car pulled up, there was probably just some overflow out of the radiators. The car was sitting there, stopped, that we saw coming out of the front part of that engine. You can, boy, look at that look there. You look at the racetrack, the glaze and the glare that you see in it. That is very slick and very slippery for these drivers.
And then you see the cushion up above it. So dark and just waiting. Well, Don Dowd is already into tonight's A main event. He's with Dave.
Ralph, it's just one of the best feel-good stories of the week. A week ago, you didn't even think you'd be here. Now, you took a car that's normally been raced in USAC without the wing, put it together. You're in the A feature. How about that?
I know. I just have to thank Dan Pace and Daryl Saucer. It's been quite an amazing week. We ran Tuesday night at Oskaloosa. First time I'd been in a car, ran fourth. And Thursday night was the first time that I've even been in a 410 car this summer. So,
Daryl Saucier's got a great history in this sport as an accomplished mechanic. What's he ask of his driver?
give 150%. That's all he asks. Don't be jacking around.
150%. That's what you're going to see from Don Dowd here tonight.
Dave, there was one other thing Daryl asked of him when he called him on the phone. Don was telling us the other night. He said, after everything else he had asked of him, and do you want to drive the car, this, that, and the other thing, he said, oh, yeah, and Dowd, one more thing. He said, what's that? He said, wipe that grin off your face. We got to get serious about racing.
That sounds like they're so sure.
12 to go. And Stewart this time gets a great jump. Pulls away from Brian Brown. Here comes Brown back to the bottom. And Lisowski continues to climb with Tatnall in the black 8 coming up through the field with him.
Now remember, Tatnall came out of the B main. These guys desperately battling, trying to get up through there. Look, one on the oh, Tatnall goes into the middle.
Lisowski's in 8th as they get around Randy Hannigan.
And we still have, what, 11 laps left into this race.
He's going to need more cautions, isn't he?
He sure will. Especially when he's out like this, when they're out in the open like this. This is when he needs them to bunch the field back up. Seems like every caution after they go green, he gets by 1 or 2 race cars.
That's Travis Ryland in the white 29 in front of him as Lisowski hunts him down. And just in front of him is Kerry Matson, who holds 5th. Remember, Lisowski's only got to get to 4th.
And look at the line there. He was running the middle of 3 and 4, now goes back to the bottom.
He's got Ryland, slot him into 6th. He's 2 spots away, Brad. He started dead last in this main event. Now he's working on Matson, who's upstairs. Matson holds down 5th position. Lisowski to the bottom. The catfish line is working beautifully for the 4-time Nationals winner. He put a brand new engine in that car today. He slides through the middle. That was not supposedly the better way to go.
Well, that was part of the trouble they had the other night. They had to change the engine in this car before time trials on Wednesday night. They hot lapped the car. They had to change. That's how bad their week has been. He had to change the engine before they even time trialed the car.
Shane Stewart pulling away now. Oh, and around goes Matson. And upside down goes the 11. There's the caution, actually a red that Lisowski needed. But, Brad, he was very close to Matson when that incident took place. We'll have to see if there was any contact that initiated the flip or if Matson just lost it on his own. Matson out of the car and not looking happy. There's Lisowski in the 83. Matson right in front of him. Oh, he did get into him.
And you can see right there, the car got up on the berm in the infield and it hooked the right rear and over he goes. No wonder Kerry Matson got out of that car fired up. He's a fiery guy anyway, but I bet you he's going down there to talk to Lisowski to see what that was all about. But just guys, well, maybe cooler heads prevailed there as he turned around. But these guys just racing for position, racing hard.
Well, that got the big crowd here at Knoxville up on their feet. There's one thing you can't be here at Knoxville, and that's weak when it comes to winning.